This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness Podcast to help others in their fitness journey. All possible.
It's time to wake up. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness Podcast. Today, I have with me Christina Orman. We're going to be talking about her great lifestyle that she tweaked here and there throughout the years so that she can become the best version of herself. Hey, Christina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So happy and excited to have you on this show. Not only is Christina going to tell us all about herself because I think she's a true inspiration, but also she's my niece and I've watched her throughout the years with her struggles in health and fitness to become the best version of herself. So Christina, let's go back and let's tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, I played sports my whole life, and then I had a child when I was very young, when I was 20, and I kind of was just working all the time, and I was going to school full time. And then, flash forward, I'm in my mid 20s, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not in shape anymore, and that kind of is when I started thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm getting older. I better get it together. I didn't really know how or where to start. And then I started working as a nurse. And that is when I started seeing everything that happens when you make bad lifestyle choices. And I'd see patients with all these chronic illnesses and diseases, and they can barely walk. And they were like in their 50s. Some of them were even younger. And I would think about like grandma and grandpa and how they were living on their own all the way into their 90s and doing good. And I was like, I want to be like that. How do I get there? And then, that's kind of how I started, was going to the gym. And then I started just reading about health and fitness, reading about foods, watching podcasts, listening to documentaries. I would try things for myself. Some things wouldn't work. Sometimes I wouldn't stick with it. And then I'd have another kid, and then I just would eat whatever I wanted. And I would gain about 50 pounds. And then the cycle would start all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All those cravings when you're pregnant, that doesn't help any, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's hard to lose all that baby fat after you've given birth. And you've had 3 kids. So 3 times around of gaining and losing, gaining and losing, gaining and losing. When you first started trying to lose weight, what was your fitness regimen like?
Started out doing online videos in the living room. And then I was kind of like, well, I do better when I'm pushed. So I started going to a gym, and I went regularly. And there was this one instructor who was really tough. And I thought I was going to pass out several times. And I think I almost threw up several times, but I liked it because I saw the biggest difference when I took her classes. So then the gym relocated, and it relocated to a difficult area to get to. The traffic was terrible. And so then I just started running. So, and that was all while I was in Florida. And then when I moved back to Georgia, that's when I got pregnant with Delaney, the last of my children. And so the cycle started over. So I started doing, the workouts again. And I did one program, I can't remember what it was called, but they sent me the little food containers to portion your food. And so I did that. And I would try to work out at home. I would run. And then I started doing Tough Mudders. And I kind of started hanging out with people that were in shape. And then I really realized that I was definitely not in shape. I took diet pills at certain points because they're like, oh, just take the diet pill, the weight will fall off. And it did, but you have no muscle. And then it comes right back. And then I realized how terrible those are for your heart and your body in general. So I decided I was never going to do those again. And that I just had to start working out regularly, and I had to commit to it. And that is when I started going to Burn Boot Camp. So that's a group fitness gym. You do the same workout for that day. So you just pick a time, you go, and everybody does the same workout, but it's in a group setting. And every day the workout changes. They have accountability groups. You get trainer meetings. They help you with your nutrition and everything like that. So when I started that gym, that is really when I felt like, okay, I finally found a gym that I fit into. I feel comfortable going. And so I've just been doing that now for 3 years.
3 years. You've kept up with the same type of workout. They change it every day, you said?
Yeah, they change it every day. Well, you might have arm day, then you'll have leg day, or they have like athletic conditioning, body weight conditioning. And no matter where you go in the country, if you go on vacation and there is a Burn Boot Camp location there, you can go, and it's the same day for the whole country. So if Monday is arm day this week, the whole country of Burn Boot Camp is doing arm day that week.
Wow.
So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go out of town on Thursday and Friday, and you did arms in Noonan and I go to Florida and they have arms now. No, they're still going to have the same days as Noonan. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. And tell us about your transformation. What have you seen since you started going there?
Well, the first thing that I noticed is my cardio was a lot better. I even had friends notice when we went. I did another Tough Mudder with some of the same people, and they were like, I can really tell this one was so much better for you than the first one, because the first one was tough. There was a lot of running. So I noticed my cardio health was better, and I just felt better. Even mentally, I haven't had as much anxiety. I feel happy and healthy. And that was the first thing that I noticed. And then I started getting muscle definition. And then that just made me have more encouragement to go. And so now I've started macro counting. It's hard. So right now, that's my new journey. Is we did a challenge for a month, and I counted my macros. And prior to this, I've talked to several different nutritionists, and I talked to trainers, and I told them my goal. And my goal is that I want to get down to like 18% body fat.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, yeah, hit this spot of my fitness that if I want to see it get down to 18%, I have to get on the nutrition. And even though I eat healthy, you have to do a lot more than just eat healthy.
Yeah,
you have to really pay attention and balance everything. So
yeah,
I did that. And I actually lost 4% body fat and gained 3% muscle in 4 weeks.
Very good. So where are you at now with your percentages?
That was actually last month. So I've gone 2 more weeks. So in 2 weeks, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it for another month and see.
Mm-hmm. And
I could go next week. Yeah, it's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, right? Not just looking good, feeling good.
Yes.
Having more energy for your life. Not only do you work a lot, but you also have those 3 kids running around that you got to keep up with, and your lifestyle, and being happy with yourself and everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put in your bio that you became a transformative nurse coach. Tell us about that.
So after I have been working on myself, and I started to realize that there are a lot of people that just don't know how to be healthy, because I will ask patients or I'll ask friends, and they think that they're making good choices, but they feel bad. They're like, I don't know, I'm just not losing weight, but I'm trying to do this and that. Or they get illnesses or things going wrong and they feel terrible. They have no clue where to even start. And so I thought, well, I need to do something to make changes. And I researched, how can I, as a nurse, help people live healthier? Because modern medicine doesn't exactly do that. And, it's good for certain things, but it makes people feel like, oh, if you're overweight, we're going to give you a pill. It's a quick fix. Oh, if you have side effects from the pill, we're going to give you another pill for the side effects. And it just continues. And I wanted to just teach people. So I found a course. It was a 7-month course that I just finished. And I had to do 120 coaching hours. I just finished. So now I'm a transformative nurse coach. I'm not sure how. I've looked up doing an LLC to possibly, just start a business doing that. So I just finished this past month too, about 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations. That's awesome. So was it not only book work? I mean, I'm sure you learned a lot about health and fitness and helping people change their lives and feel better. But what other intensity did you have with this course?
It was online, and they had different sections that they opened throughout. So it was just nutrition. There were a lot of links about healthy eating. They taught you how to talk to people. It's sort of like motivational interviewing. Get deep with somebody and try to figure out you're helping them figure themselves out. You're not going to tell them this is what you need to do. And you kind of ask questions in a way that they are figuring out for themselves. What it is they want. Why do they want to change? What will change look like for them? And then it kind of helps them map out their own journey.
Mm-hmm.
So part of that was we had to coach some people for whatever it was. And it's interesting because some people coach people on like time management. And they're just like, I'm so stressed out at work because I can't manage my time. And it wasn't really a physical health, but more like emotional and like mental health. They're like, I'm anxious. I can't do this at work. I'm stressed out. I don't know what to do. And kind of helping them through that. Because we did have to also do like a mental health partner, and you did mindful practices with them. And then, we had discussion boards and we had virtual meetings and things like that, where we shared case studies about people that we worked with.
Mm-hmm. So very psychological, trying to get into the psychological part of trying to get people healthier, changing their habits and the way they think about their lifestyle and what they can do to improve it so that they could be healthier and try to fit an exercise plan into their lifestyle. Do you actually come up with exercise programs for them?
So that's not really within the scope of a nurse. And that is something I actually was looking into getting a personal trainer certificate at some point, because I have to be careful and I have to follow like the board of nursing, because it's kind of weird. Because if I'm working under my nursing license, I have to stay within that scope.
Okay.
It's something I've thought of though.
Yeah, because that would be the next step.
Right.
But there's so many people out there that do need the help with what you've done so far. They might not realize even when they come to you that that's all that they need, trying to figure out how they can fit a program into their schedule, or maybe something that they need to give up and put something else in so that they can live a healthier lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even thought about there's another certificate to become a functional nutritional counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very interested in that. Because I just want to teach people, and it's a lifestyle change. So it's not going to happen overnight. But like you said, maybe they can give up one healthy habit or one healthy food and replace it with a healthier version.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, when you start replacing the bad with the good, then suddenly you're just like, wow, I'm doing so good here. I feel so good,
Mm-hmm.
But it takes time.
Little changes. Yeah. Makes a big difference over time. Absolutely. Let's go back to the fact that you have 3 little ones at home, or 2 little ones. And how do you fit all this into your schedule? That's a challenge for people right there. How do you do that?
That is challenging. I'm thankful that my job I only have to work 3 days a week.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes on the day that I work, I don't get to go to the gym. I don't love that, but I just make up for it on my days off. And those days are very full because I have to go to the gym. I have to keep up with the house, get the kids from school. We do our homework. We do our extracurriculars. And then usually what I'll do is whenever they're at practice, there's normally tracks, and I'll try to run or walk the track just to get some extra steps in during that time. I don't know. I've gotten lucky. Somehow I try to schedule my things around the kids' school and their sports.
Because it's
And
always on your mind, right? So you
yep.
need to do it. So even though every day is different, you figure it out every day. Maybe you think about it the night before. Do you ever do that the night before, or even at the beginning of the week? Like, how am I going to do this all week long?
Yeah, well, I normally start now because my schedule comes out at 4-week increments and I write everything on the calendar. So I circle the days I work, I write down the days that the kids have stuff. And when I first started going to Burn Boot Camp and doing the gym all the time, I would write down on the calendar dates on my things to do, gym.
Very good.
And I would cross them off. So I would put gym, even though it sounds silly, I will even put grocery store. Like, I'm doing the grocery store today in between, and that's what I do. And I just cross it off as I do it.
Were you always that organized with your
No, I was not. My mom will vouch for that. I wasn't. I kind of had to as I got older, and then the kids are getting older and they have more things. If you don't stay organized, you're not going to get it done.
Yeah.
Then life is just going to feel scattered and chaotic.
And you're forgetting this and you're forgetting that. And then you end up being last on the list, right?
Yeah. And I did work a Monday through Friday, and that was tough. So I actually understand that lifestyle too, because when I did that, it was like, I felt like I was even busier because it's like, wake up, everybody get ready, go to school, go to work. I would get off and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd pick the kids up from school, and then we had our sports and everything. And then by the time we get home, it's like, okay, we're doing homework in the car, homework before practice starts, and then get home, shower, dead. But I did it because my thought about it is time goes by so fast. And if you don't take care of yourself right now, then you're going to be behind. And the next thing you know, you're 50, 60, and you can't move hardly because you just sat there and didn't do anything. So even though it's hard sometimes to get the fitness aspect in, you just have to do it. That way you're able to take care of your grandkids when they get older, or when your kids grow up, you can travel. You're still able to do things for yourself.
Absolutely. Excellent.
So that's what kind of motivates me too.
Yes. So I've seen pictures of you and your kids doing sports together outdoors that look like some kind of a obstacle course. So you involve the kids in all kinds of outdoor activity too. You're an inspiration to them. Tell me what you do with them to get them moving and stay healthy.
I let them on their tablets sometimes, but they have screen times. Or if it's a rainy day, they might be on it longer, but they do play outside. When we go to sports, I'll take the dogs to the fields. So like when Liam's doing his baseball practice, Delaney and I walk the dogs, and she enjoys that. We take walks through the neighborhood. I did sign them up for the kids' Tough Mudder, which was the obstacle course. And they had so much fun. They brought a friend. They had a blast doing that. We go hiking. There are a lot of like nature parks and stuff around. I just want them to get outside and to like learn to enjoy life and not be stuck on a tablet 24/7. And I want them to be well-rounded. So even when Delaney goes to ballet on Thursdays, that's Liam and I's date night. We go to Starbucks and we play board games. We have an hour and a half. We don't have any phones, no electronics, anything. And we just play games and just spend time together. And they kind of learn to value that.
That's sweet.
So, and then I just want them to learn that there's so much to life. There's so many things to do. So every time, like last summer, I took them to see like historical sites. And even though I'm sure they're a little bit bored, like in the museums and stuff, they always find something that they think is funny or silly. It's probably not the most entertaining thing they've done, but they'll remember it as being there, And I always try to make it fun, and then we'll do something fun after. I try to take them, I took them to the World of Coke in Atlanta, the aquariums. I just try to get them out. Tons of places in Florida we've gone and done. I'm taking them to New York City this summer.
Yeah?
Yes, so we're going to go see all the things. And I already told them, you don't have a car there, so we're going to have to do some walking. So they're up for it. I've trained them. I've had them in training, walking through the neighborhood. Now we're going to go walk through the big city.
Nice.
So, yeah, I never want them to be scared to be adventurous,
Mm-hmm. That is really cool. And as a result, those kids look great too. A lot of kids these days, you see them, they're gaining weight, getting a little chunky, overweight, don't want to be outside. So it's really nice to see that you have children who enjoy that. They see you too. They see you and what you do. And that's an inspiration to them to be just like their mama.
Well, I hope that I can inspire them.
Yeah.
Do good things.
So right now, Delaney's involved in ballet.
Delaney does ballet, yes. She was doing gymnastics. She's not doing gymnastics right now, but she's doing tumbling.
And she's really good at it too.
Oh, yeah. And she loves dance. And I love that for her because you can always dance. Even when she's an adult, they have adult dance classes. She could teach dance, just, something that she'll always be able to do.
Yeah. And what about Liam? What is he up to?
Liam does football, and right now he's in baseball. He did soccer and basketball at times, but he's kind of sticking to the baseball and football right now. And he does parkour also. It's called parkour. Well, you know what American Ninja Warrior, on the TV?
Yeah.
So there's a place here that it's called the Georgia Parkour Academy, and that's where Delaney does tumbling, and they offer Ninja Warrior courses, and they offer parkour, which is, the people that are like jumping on the buildings.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So they have in this big gym, they have all these little obstacles, and they teach the kids how to jump over the boxes quickly. Hurry, you got to jump. And the technique of being able to jump over all these obstacles really fast. And the guy that owns it was actually on American Ninja Warrior.
Ah.
So he does it because some of his friends did it. But when I started taking Delaney to tumbling, instead of him just sitting there, I was like, well, why don't you just, do parkour while she's doing her tumble class? So just gives him something to do. It keeps him moving.
And he enjoys it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, the wilder and crazier it is, the more kids love it, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which comes back to adults. We stop doing all those crazy, wild things when we get older. And, if we could just act like kids again, how much better in shape would we be?
Yeah.
Right? Instead of sitting around, just get up and play, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even yard work,
Mm-hmm. Although that's not as much fun, but yeah, yard work.
Go plant some vegetables in the plots.
Oh, how's that going?
Or something. It's good. I do it every year.
Yeah?
On my little mini farm.
Nice.
I have the chickens too.
So you're eating really well from your garden? Do you get enough food from your garden to?
I do. Last year it didn't do very well. I'm not sure why. A lot of people around here had issues last year. So hopefully this year will be better. But I normally have tons of peppers, tomatoes. I have a blueberry and blackberry bush. I do squash and zucchini. I usually have a bunch. So sometimes I even give it away.
Nice thing about that is, you get past the pesticides and the preservatives that they put on all of our fresh, supposedly produce at the grocery stores. It's nice having a garden. If you have the time for that, that's something else you put into your life.
Yes.
A little farm.
I know it. Yeah.
Since we're talking about food now, let's talk a little bit more about the way you eat and how you keep it organized so that you can stick to it all week long.
To get my protein in, I've learned that if you go in the grocery store and you buy regular oatmeal, there are another kind of oatmeal. It's called Kodiak oatmeal. It has extra protein. So I get that to help get my protein intake. I substitute, like when I make spaghetti for the kids, instead of eating the pasta noodles, I bake a spaghetti squash and then I turn that into the noodles. And that's what I have. I've tried to get the kids to eat that and they are like, now I want the noodles.
Doesn't work.
I do eat fried foods sometimes, but I try to eat that very rarely. I just try to eat fresh when I can. I eat a lot of salads. I have started getting like carrots and celery, and instead of dipping them in ranch, I dip them in hummus. I don't drink juices very rarely. I don't drink a lot of cream grape and apple juice and things like that because it's just loaded with sugar. I hardly ever have soda. I drink the sparkle waters. That was my transition because I like the carbonation.
Yeah.
So that was a healthier version of the soda, I guess. So I do that now. I've been doing that for years, actually. Like I rarely ever drink soda. I don't drink that much. I cut down on drinking a whole lot because I used to feel like, oh, when I go to eat, I need to get a beer or I need to have a glass of wine. So I've cut that down a lot. I hardly ever drink beer at all anyway. Normally, if I do drink, it's like a glass of red wine or something. And I try to eat organic when I can, if it makes sense. I'm not sure about the organic cereal. I feel like it's probably still processed. I don't know. I'd have to do a lot of research to see if that would even be worth the extra money. Produce and stuff, I try to get organic. And then I try not to buy anything that says added sugar.
Okay, so it sounds like you make it easy on yourself. You really don't go too crazy. You just make better choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier that way, especially with a family. If you're going to be cooking completely separate things from the kids, it makes it really hard. So.
And the kids eat vegetables and stuff. So, when I make chicken and chicken rice and vegetables, they eat that. They eat quinoa and couscous. They'll eat all of that. Then when I go to work, there's a company called Clean Eats, and they have little meals that are frozen, and I get those because it's just a healthier version. And they have macros on there. So I normally kind of stock up on those. And they're like $8 a meal. But if you think, well, if I went and got something at the cafeteria at work, it'd probably be more than that. So
probably so. Yeah, and I see that you have the kids helping you in the kitchen too, chop vegetables and make things. So they're learning too, right there beside you. To make their meals and make better choices. That's great to have them in the kitchen with you doing that. Making grandma's escarole soup.
Yes, they love that.
Yeah.
They always think it's fun. I always tell them stories about, if I made something from grandma's, I'll say, this is grandma's recipe. And they love it. And then I try to tell them too, like when we cook things, I'll have them ask Alexa what this is good for. So they learn, they love avocados. So it's good. I just want them to be mindful of what they're eating. They know.
Making better choices so that as they get older, it's easier.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell me about struggles that you have had throughout the years and how you were able to overcome them.
Let's take a quick break.
Get ready to elevate your wellness journey. Step into a world of holistic well-being at our most anticipated event of the year, the Flagler Wellness Expo 2024, March 23rd and 24th at FPC High School. Join us and immerse yourself in a vibrant celebration of health and wellness, curated just for you by your local community's leading wellness professionals. Discover your path to a healthier, happier, more balanced you.
Well, I've had a lot of struggles because really it's just being able to commit and be consistent while being a single mom and working full time and taking care of the yard and the animals. It's a lot. So that's why I went the up and down, and at one point was on the diet pills, because it was hard to establish a good routine. And it was hard to know. It took a lot of time to come up with me just knowing how to find healthy foods quickly and how to make those meals. And I didn't know how to do it. And I just kind of figured it out, but it took years. And then when I finally was like, okay, I have to commit to it and I have to stick with it. And once I got the routine, it was okay. But before then, it was sometimes I wouldn't work out for months and it would go, I wouldn't realize. And that's why I started writing it in my agenda, because I was like, next thing you know, it's been 2 months. And I'm like, when's the last time I worked out? I'm like, I don't even know. It's been a long time. Whoa. So it was like that. And then with the kids' sports, and then those change. Football practice might be Monday, Wednesday, and then when baseball season comes around, it's Tuesday, Thursday. And then I have football and ballet on the same day. But once you're in a routine and you're writing it down to do it, you put it on the calendar as part of your day and you find the time to do it. But it was hard.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's always a monkey wrench, right? Things are thrown at you. People might get sick. You've got kids to deal with that get sick. You get sick and changes need to be made, or you fall off the bandwagon a little bit and then you come back again.
Yeah.
Being able to come back again, that's another hard thing for a lot of people when they fall off their schedule. Being able to bounce back and get to where they were before.
Oh, yeah. Because when I was working at one hospital and I had a childcare issue, and so I had to leave. And I was like, I can't work in the hospital anymore because I'm having trouble with someone watching my kids. And I was having to pick up overtime just to be able to afford to pay the babysitters for the days that I work. And that's how I ended up at the Monday through Friday. So that was a major life change. And then I found where I work now, and it's a lot more flexible. And so now I'm able to make it work. I found a babysitter. She's been with me for years now, probably 2 years. She's amazing. And the babysitting factor was a huge control for a lot of times. Because people would come and then they quit. And when you're stressed out about all of that, it makes it harder to focus on yourself. And when you get stressed too, you make bad eating habits, or you might drink too much. Some people, or people deal with stress, unhealthy. Sometimes.
You're an amazing woman, Christina. Look at you. Raised 3 children, got a great career, doing so well, going to school, earning these extra certifications so that you can help other people, not only yourself, but you're still thinking about others. How great is that? And still balancing the work, the family, the home, the pets. Yeah, all of it. And you're in great shape. You look great. You're happy. Look at how far you've come.
I know. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have come a long way.
I'm so proud of it.
But I still try to always be better, though. I try to, just keep going, stay positive, and everything always seems to work out.
So right now, are you working in the emergency room as a nurse, or where are you at with your career?
So I'm working in the emergency room. That's my full-time thing. And then I just pick up shifts here and there at another place. It's called Purify IV, and it's an IV hydration place. So it's in a chiropractor's office, and the guy that owns it is someone I work with in the ER. And so he knows about my Transformative Nurse Coach desires and how I want to be able to help people live healthy. And the people that are there, and it's in a chiropractor's office, they all are kind of on the same page as far as, health and fitness and trying to be healthier in general. So hopefully it'll maybe open some doors.
Yeah, sounds like you've landed in a nice little place there. Tell me about the IV hydration.
They just have different bags of hydration that you can get, and it just has different vitamins and minerals in them. If you want a bag, you just come in, you pick which one you want, and there's a menu actually, and then you just get your fluids. They give B12 shots. They do semaglutide for weight loss, which I don't love that, but they're actually making some comments about trying to have people educated on lifestyle changes in combination with that. And it's right there in the chiropractor's office, and it's next to the gym that I go to. So some people will just, they might go work out, come see the chiropractor, and then get a bag of fluids and a B12 shot.
Yeah. Do Do you try to help people decide what they might need off of that menu according to what their symptoms might be?
Yeah, kind of you do. It's there's a whole menu and it says what each bag has in it and what it is good for. So if you want hydration, if you're trying to, they're called different things. I can't remember all the things because I just started doing this, but the whole menu will tell you if you don't want any of the vitamins at all and you just want just a bag of fluids because you're dehydrated, you can get that. But it tells you on the menu what each one is good for.
I know quite a few people who have gone for the B12.
Yes, I have had the B12 shots.
Yeah, low energy and need a little boost. And did it make a difference for you when you got your B12 shot?
Yeah, you can tell a little difference.
Yeah.
Some people, I'm just so active and always moving, but a lot of people, they get them regularly. And so they know, they're like, I need it. But I also take a lot of vitamins and stuff in general. So I don't know how much at a certain point your body can't process all of it.
Yeah. So you take a lot of vitamins. What vitamins?
Well, I take a prenatal vitamin. I take creatine. I take collagen, fish oil, B12, and vitamin D.
Prenatal vitamins. Why?
Yes, because they just work better. Every time I take prenatal vitamins, my hair is like thicker. My nails are thicker. I've taken women vitamins, just like the vitamin for women, but it does not do as good when I take a prenatal vitamin. It's something with my fingernails are thicker and my hair is better. Yeah.
Maybe I need to try that because my nails are always breaking.
So mine do too. And for some reason, when I take the prenatal vitamins, they're so much better.
Wow.
Like my nails are.
Nurse and prenatal vitamins. All right.
I know. So yes, I still am nowhere near pregnant and I'm taking prenatal vitamins.
Any more babies in the future for you?
No, I had a hysterectomy. Yeah.
Okay. Let your other sisters do the baby thing, right?
Yes. I just now got to where I don't have to bathe somebody, because from 16 to 6, as soon as one of them got to the age where they could give themselves their own shower, I had another baby. And then they got big enough to get a shower and I had another baby, So now Delaney is 6. I'm finally like, man, the first time in 16 years, I can say, y'all go get a shower.
You're free.
I'm free. I don't have to give anybody a bath.
Yeah, that's liberating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I'm good with it.
It's happy.
Yeah. So I'm good with it. I always wondered, I wonder what it's going to be like when I don't have a little baby. But I'm fine.
You'll find out one day again when you're a grandma. Not too soon, though. That's
No, hopefully not.
Yeah. I'd like for you to think for a second about goals that you would like to give our listeners about health and fitness that could possibly reach for and how to get there.
One goal would be to take away one unhealthy item that you consume, whether, take it away completely or just if you're drinking sodas all the time, just say, no, I'm not having any soda during the week. I'll have a soda on the weekend. The same with alcohol or fried foods, just something that is unhealthy that you're eating too much of or drinking too much of. Cut that down. And then another goal would be just to try to do 30 minutes of activity 3 or 4 times a week. Whether it go walk for 30 minutes, if you have a gym membership, go swim in the pool if you like that, go outside and go hike somewhere, anything, just 30 minutes 3 to 4 times a week. And how to do that would be to make a calendar and add it on your calendar. Fit it into your schedule and then make sure you do it and commit to doing it. And try to like fitness and health apps and stuff on social media, because I cleared out anything that was politics and negative energy. And I started liking these pages that had people who were into health and fitness. And it doesn't just have to be hardcore, high intensity fitness. There are some people that they sell herbs, or they meditate regularly, or they do yoga, and I like their pages. And so my news feed on social media always has something healthy. There are people that dance that I've liked, and their dance classes will pop up. And that just kind of helps inspire me and encourage me to keep going. So if people do that, it's kind of, you always see it, and it keeps it fresh on your mind.
Very good. Do you dance?
I don't really dance. I did take a bar class at the gym. I've done Zumba classes, and I thought about taking an adult ballet class where Delaney goes to ballet. So I thought that, how cool would that be? But I don't have time for the ballet class.
Not yet.
Not yet. I have to draw the line. I have my schedule written out. So, but yeah, so I never danced when I was younger. I never took dance or anything like that.
Now's a good time to start. Have a little more time. Yeah.
Yep.
You and Delaney can show you some moves. So I'll show her.
She can.
Right? You guys in your spare time in the living room, she can show you some of her ballet moves.
Oh, yeah. She would love that.
Yeah. She can teach Liam too. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's that? Do we have Delaney there?
You want to say hi?
Hi. Hi, Delaney. Little ballerina. She's here and gone. Up, she's doing cartwheels in the background. Beautiful. Nice. Does she ever get you to do cartwheels?
We do cartwheels, and we've had headstand contests, and we've had bridge contests.
And I always win them.
And she always wins them.
Awesome. We got to keep on trying to get mommy better at that. Get her better at acting like a kid. Yeah.
Stretch more.
Oh, she said I need to stretch more. Yeah, that's a great thing, Delaney, to say, actually.
Yeah. Do you incorporate that into your physical fitness routine at all? Flexibility?
I do sometimes, but I should do it probably more.
Our bodies definitely need that, especially as your muscles get stronger.
Events.
Flexibility should be incorporated into your regimen.
Yes, that's a very good point.
So there's another thing to put on your calendar.
Yes, stretch.
It doesn't take too long.
I could have been stretching while we're talking.
Yeah.
I should have just put the computer on the floor. Been stretching.
All right, Christina, it's been so nice talking to you. You're a true inspiration, not only to your family, it's brought you a long way fighting through those struggles to get to where you need to be in life and to keep those lifestyle changes going so that you can continue with those new habits that you've learned from eating better, substituting better things in your diet, writing down your schedule. So important to help you keep on track. That's great. And I know that when people listen to this recording, they'll be able to take your ideas and put them to work for themselves. So you can know that you're helping others just by talking about what you do. If anybody wants to reach out to you to talk about your transformative nurse coaching, would you be open to that yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can share your knowledge with them and try to help them on the right path to transform their lives.
I would love to do that because everybody has to find their own way. What's good for me in my routine is not good for someone else in their routine. They might do something different. They might need to do something different. It's not one way fits all.
Yeah. So. And sometimes it's so hard for us to look at our lifestyles and think that we just can't make any changes. But when somebody else looks at it, maybe they can help you just tweak it here and there and try to figure things out to make things better for you. Yes. In the long run, we all want to be happy, healthy, and feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Christina, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's inspired me through the years too, you know.
Yeah.
With your beach yoga and fitness stuff.
Yeah, it's me.
Always active.
It's me. And anybody that I can inspire by them seeing what I do, that's awesome, you know? All right. Well, you take care, and I'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness Podcast to help others in their fitness journey.